Today we're talking about off-road motorhomes. Recently, a buddy of mine bought one for a mountain trip thinking it could handle anything. But halfway up the trail, the suspension started bottoming out. The tires spun in mud, and the whole thing felt one bump away from disaster. Because here's the thing, most motorhomes are built for highways, not hard trails. And yet, every review makes them sound unstoppable. So today, I'm cutting through the hype to show you the off-road motorhomes that actually dominate the rest. Let's go. So let's start with the EbaCamp Unimog U300. This thing is built on Mercedes-Benz's legendary Unimog chassis with full-time 4x4 portal axles that lift the differential 14 inches off the ground and triple locking differentials front, center, and rear. That means serious articulation on uneven terrain and water crossings up to 1.2 meters without flinching. The camper pod uses 65mm 5-layer PET sandwich construction, not just for weight savings, but for thermal performance that handles everything from desert heat to alpine cold. Inside, you get a convertible lounge bed for two, full kitchen, proper bathroom with Dometic toilet, plus 760 watts of solar feeding AGM batteries and a 250-liter freshwater tank. Now, it's 147,000 euros. Fuel economy is brutal, and you're limited to 2 people. But if you need a rig that goes anywhere and sleeps warm doing it, this is your baseline.
Now here's where things get controversial with the Chengan Fengjing at $38,000 to $55,000. Yes, it's a Chinese brand, but hear me out on the specs. You're getting a 2.0-liter turbo pushing 171 kilowatts through a ZF 8-speed automatic. That's the same German transmission in luxury SUVs, with intelligent 4-wheel drive, center and rear diff locks, and 5 terrain modes, including dedicated off-road settings. The living space actually delivers with a cab-over bunk for 2, a convertible lounge with pneumatic lift table, a full induction kitchen with a 148-liter fridge, and they even threw in a washing machine for long expeditions. Power system runs 3,000-watt inverter with dual batteries and solar support. But of course, this is unproven territory for long-term durability and parts availability outside Asia. You're also getting a gasoline engine instead of diesel, which means shorter range and worse fuel economy under load. But at 1/3 the price of established brands, you're getting features that cost 6 figures elsewhere. The question is whether you're willing to bet on it. Next up is the Wilderness Fans Grid Mini. And this one proves that smaller can actually mean tougher. Built on a Ford F550 regular cab chassis with a short 158-inch wheelbase, it runs 40-inch tires that give you serious ground clearance without needing a lift kit that'll wreck your center of gravity. At just 22.5 feet long, it fits trails that would choke out bigger rigs, but you're not sacrificing livability. Inside, you get a full induction kitchen with a 139-liter Vitrafrigo fridge freezer, a Victron Stage 4 electrical system pushing 271 amp-hours lithium, and 3,000 watts of inverter power, plus Webasto heating for cold nights. The bathroom is compact. Toilet pulls out from under the dinette bench, and the shower uses a fabric curtain, so it's functional but tight. But something to keep in mind is that you're looking at $225,000 plus the cost of the F550 chassis, and that shorter wheelbase means a stiffer ride on washboard roads. Seating maxes out at 3, so this is built for couples or small families who value nimbleness over space. But if tight switchbacks and narrow forest roads are your playground, this thing maneuvers where others can't.
Now, here's where it gets interesting with the Auriga Explorer Voyager on a Ford Ranger chassis. This one stays under 3.5 tons, so no special license needed, but the real trick is the expandable design. Closed, it's just 19.2 feet long, shorter than a Sprinter, with high ground clearance and dual rear spares for serious trails. Then you hit camp and it expands in 4 directions using electro-pneumatic slide-outs, giving you 86 square feet of living space and 6.7 feet of headroom. The motorhome sleeps 4 with a full kitchen, including a diesel oven, plus a water recycling shower and dry separation toilet, while the GRP composite shell keeps weight down without sacrificing durability. Trade-offs? All those moving parts mean more potential failure points, and at an estimated $168,000, you're paying for complexity. Also, the brand is fairly new and long-term durability is less proven than some other great options. But if you need a rig that drives like a mid-sized truck and lives like a small apartment, this modular approach actually looks promising.
Now, if you want proven reliability, the Freedom Overland Cruiser 3.0, built on Toyota's Land Cruiser 79 series, is hard to beat. This platform has been punishing third-world roads for decades with solid front and rear axles, factory-locking differentials, and a reputation for running on questionable fuel. The aluminum camper body keeps weight balanced and departure angles clean, riding on 35-inch BF Goodrich all-terrain tires with rock sliders and an integrated winch for recovery. Inside, you get solid pine and walnut finishes, not just for looks, but because real wood handles vibration better than cheap composites that crack and rattle. The layout sleeps 4, with a kid's nook in the cab over, plus a full kitchen and bathroom. Power comes from a 200 amp-hour lithium battery and 2,000-watt inverter fed by solar, with 200 liters of fresh water and dual fuel tanks holding 180 liters combined for some serious range. At $135,000 plus the cost of the Land Cruiser chassis, you're paying the Toyota tax. And that solid axle ride is rough on pavement. But if you need something that'll still be running when everything else is broken down, this is it. Next up is one of my favorite apex predators, the Earthcruiser XTR 366x6. Another Toyota Land Cruiser 79 stretched into a 6-wheel drive monster with a bogie drive system, triple locking differentials, and portal axles that distribute 7,000 kilograms of gross vehicle mass across 3 axles instead of 2. That third axle isn't just for show. It means better weight distribution, reduced ground pressure in sand and mud, and a 3,000 kilogram payload capacity without overloading your suspension. It rides on coil and airbag suspension with military-grade sway bars and Bilstein heavy-duty shocks, plus 4 hydraulic rams for leveling on uneven ground. Inside, you get 1,320 amp-hours of lithium batteries, 810 watts of solar, a 3,000-watt Victron inverter, 275 liters of fuel, and luxury finishes with central diesel heating. You can easily sleep 3 here, with a full kitchen, internal and external showers, and slide-out toilet. But you're looking at $520,000 to $555,000 USD, a single-digit fuel economy, and a commercial license in some countries. But if your budget and skill match your ambition, none of the earlier motorhomes come close. Another great motorhome that deserves your attention is the TruckHouse BCR, and this beauty uses a carbon fiber monocoque shell on the AEV Prospector XL Ram 3500 chassis, keeping total weight between 12,000 and 13,500 pounds. That's roughly 2,000 pounds lighter than comparable builds. Why does that matter, you ask? Well, less weight means better fuel economy, less suspension compression on rough terrain, and improved handling on technical trails. The AEV platform comes with a torsion-free mounting system that lets the truck chassis flex independently while keeping the camper rigid, preventing stress cracks that plague traditional builds. Inside, you get a cab-over king bed, convertible dinette, 4-season insulation with dual-pane windows, and a 48-volt electrical system pushing 10,240 watt-hours of lithium storage with Garmin digital controls. The camper also detaches in 40 minutes for servicing or solo truck use, but you're starting at $485,000 and fully loaded builds hit $600,000, making this the second most expensive rig here. And carbon fiber repairs require specialized shops, but if you value engineering over tradition and want the lightest expedition-grade motorhome available, this is it. Now, before we get to my final 2 absolute favorite motorhomes on this list, if you're into no BS breakdowns like this, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Not ready for that? Totally fine. Just drop a like instead, because that's what helps me know this kind of content is actually useful. Now, if you want serious luxury without compromising capability, the SLRV Commander 4x4 on a MAN TGM chassis brings European truck engineering to expedition living. This runs a 6.9-liter twin-turbo 6-cylinder pushing 290 horsepower and 1,150 newton-meters of torque through a 12-speed ZF automated manual with full-time 4x4, triple diff locks, and 12 additional low-range gears for crawling. It rides smooth on Michelin XZL military-grade tires with optional central tire inflation system so you can adjust pressure on the fly for sand, mud, or rock. The beautiful 19.7-foot living area uses marine-grade composite panels with Swedish foam insulation for thermal and acoustic comfort, housing an electric king bed, club lounge seating for 6, Miele induction cooktop and combi oven, dual isotherm fridges, and a full-width ensuite. Power is fully taken care of by 600 amp-hour lithium, 1,600 watt solar, and a 3,000 watt inverter. Plus, with 6
600 liters of water storage, you can survive weeks off-grid, but at a $960,000 price tag and 13,000 kilogram gross weight, you need deep pockets and serious driving skills. Fuel economy is abysmal, and that 11,430 kilogram tare weight means you're committed to major roads between trails. But for families wanting luxury expedition capability, there's nothing better. Except...
And finally, for our last pick, we have another carbon fiber contender. Darc Mono on an Iveco Daily 4x4 chassis with 36-inch all-terrain tires and permanent all-wheel drive. The monocoque shell is 35% lighter than traditional aluminum builds, which matters because less weight means better fuel economy and blah blah blah. You know the drill. It uses a pretty unique adaptive KW suspension that automatically adjusts damping based on terrain sensors, theoretically giving you comfort on pavement and control on trails. Inside the 86 square foot space, you get 6 feet 7 inches standing height, drop-down queen bed, full induction kitchen with compact oven. Plus, there's an 8 kilowatt-hour lithium battery, fed by 400 watts solar and 185 liters of fresh water. That's enough to last a few days off-grid. The exterior includes an 11-ton winch, carbon fiber snorkel, and 270-degree panoramic windows for those gorgeous views. But then again, at about $420,000, you're paying for Formula One-inspired tech that's unproven in long-term expedition use. The Iveco Daily platform is common in Europe, but parts availability gets sketchy outside major markets. Also, it's built for 2 people max, so families need not apply. It's sleek, absolutely, but battle-tested? I guess time will tell.